So, but the rumor is you sold Lil Baby a fake watch. What happened, man?
Yeah.
What happened, man? We gotta.
Now.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't just that one. It was two of them in there.
Quavo?
In the batch.
Okay. Oh, you talking about?
So there was.
Okay.
Lil Baby just got played out of $400,000 by his own jeweler. Yeah, $400K just disappeared like that. And the crazy part, this jeweler really thought he could walk away clean like nothing happened. Figured Baby would just eat the loss and keep it quiet. Nah, not this time. Baby came back strong, applied real pressure, and things got so serious the jeweler had no choice but to return every single dollar, plus throw in thousands in free jewelry just to smooth it over. But here's the part nobody's really digging into. The way this whole setup works is slick, almost too slick. This isn't some obvious scam you can spot from far away.
There was no money exchange between myself and Baby. No money, nothing was sold. He called me and asked me to borrow merchandise for the Met Gala.
You had never done business with him?
Never.
Prior to? All right, I take it from there.
He came into the store when he would visit other guys on my block, but he never would come in and spend. One time he came in, maybe spent a couple of thousand.
Relaxed. By the end of this, you'll see exactly how it plays out and how to avoid getting caught slipping like that. Now, let's talk about who was really behind this, because this wasn't some random spot or low-level setup. This wasn't someone selling chains out of a car or a tiny shop, not even close. Raffaello & Co. sits right in the heart of New York's Diamond District, one of the biggest and most respected jewelry hubs in the world. The company launched back in 2009, started by Gabriel Jacobs, Raphael Aaron-Bitten, and Eric Aaron-Bitten. From day one, their goal was simple: get their pieces on major celebrities and dominate that spotlight. And they really pulled it off. Their client list is stacked heavy. Jay-Z, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, Swizz Beatz, Alicia Keys, Travis Scott, J Balvin, all big names wearing their work. We're talking a full lineup of hip-hop royalty stepping through their doors, the kind of names that shut everything down when they show up.
Came in, maybe spent a couple of thousand, maybe a watch for his son, I believe, at that time. As soon as the Met Gala was over the next day, and I took all the merchandise back, we were very cool, very nice guy, great guy, not saying anything bad about the guy. At the end of the day, I call him, he's in Houston, he's on tour at that time. And at that moment, I was doing the letter FOUR, 4, and I made it for him. He was supposed to pay for those. He's like, yo, it's my reputation. I was like, yeah, I got you, don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be all right, I'm gonna take care of those rings I'm making for you. You ain't gotta pay for it.
Rising fast, becoming one of the hottest artists in the world, and Raffaello was exactly the kind of high-end Diamond District spots someone at his level would deal with. Baby first connected with them back in November 2019. His first purchase? A Rolex. Nothing too crazy, just a clean move to test things out and see how solid everything was. According to Gabriel Jacobs, things started off smooth from the jump. The vibe was right, business was flowing, and trust was building quickly. Now fast forward to 2021, and Lil Baby isn't just coming up anymore, he's at the top of the game. My Turn is going multi-platinum, he's headlining major festivals, and now he's getting that invite to the Met Gala. Yeah, that level. This is where things start getting serious, and the story takes a turn you probably didn't expect. The 2021 Met Gala isn't just any event, this is the event. The Super Bowl of fashion, where every celebrity, every designer, and every major media outlet is watching closely. All eyes are locked in on who shows up and what they're wearing. This isn't just about style, it's about status, presence, and making a statement the whole world can't ignore. And for Lil Baby, coming out of Atlanta and building his way up through real struggles before reaching this point, this moment meant everything. This wasn't just another appearance, this was a major milestone, showing just how far he had come. Walking into the Met Gala was a huge moment, no question. Coach, the luxury fashion brand, styled him for the night. Creative director Stuart Vevers had Baby in a clean, sharp black suit, layered with shining diamond brooches that were catching light from every angle. The outfit was solid, no debate. But Baby wasn't about to stop at just solid. He wanted more, because that's just how he moves. This is Lil Baby we're talking about. He doesn't do anything halfway. So here's what really went down behind the scenes, and this is where the story starts shifting in a big way. Raffaello & Co. provided Lil Baby with over $4 million worth of jewelry for the Met Gala. We're talking chains, a pinky ring, a bracelet, and one standout watch that was supposed to steal the show. This wasn't just about style, it was a calculated business move. The jeweler supplies the pieces, Baby wears them on one of the biggest stages in fashion, and the exposure brings massive attention back to the brand. That's how it works at that level. The jewelry becomes the highlight, and Baby is the one presenting it to the world. And the main centerpiece was meant to be one of the rarest watches out there, a Patek Philippe Nautilus. Not just any version either, but the 5711 1P, the 40th anniversary edition. The retail price straight from Patek Philippe sits around $650,000. Yeah, that's the level we're talking about. And Gabe had one, or at least thought he did. But here's where things take a turn, and this part hits different when you hear it. Just 3 days before everything went public, Dirk posted something on his Instagram story that felt way too on point to ignore. It was almost like a warning ahead of time. Dirk said, "Stop buying all this jewelry without knowing what you're doing. A lot of this stuff is fake and some is overpriced. Get one jeweler and stick to them. I'm telling you, you're gonna be mad when the truth comes out, bro." That message landed heavy, and then, just 3 days later, everything came to light. Someone he was closely connected with, his own collaborator, ended up becoming the exact example of what he was warning people about. The timing felt way too perfect to ignore. It really makes you think, was Dirk picking up on something happening behind the scenes? Because that kind of message doesn't just come out of nowhere. He's been around the jewelry world long enough to understand how the secondary market works. Pieces moving between dealers, traders, and jewelers, and how easily things can get mixed in without people realizing. And when everything finally surfaced, it lined up exactly with what he was warning about. That's what makes his advice hit even harder. He didn't just say be careful and leave it there. He made it clear, stick with one trusted jeweler. That right there might be the biggest takeaway from this whole situation, because the real issue started when that watch passed through multiple unknown hands. That piece moved through several unknown hands before it even reached Gabe, and then from Gabe to Baby. Every extra step in that chain creates another chance for something questionable to slip in without being noticed. That's the real risk right there. When you've got a jeweler you truly trust, someone who understands your style, your budget, and knows your name is tied to theirs, they're going to move way more carefully with what they offer you. That kind of relationship acts like protection, and Dirk clearly understood that. He just didn't know his message was about to turn into one of the most perfectly timed warnings the culture has seen. Less than 48 hours later, everything lined up in a way nobody could ignore. So, Baby steps into the Met Gala looking sharp. The outfit is on point, the jewelry is shining, and on his wrist is what he believes is a $400,000 Patek Philippe 40th anniversary Nautilus. He's confident, posting it on his Instagram story with the caption, "40th anniversary, not the regular $400K," putting it out there for everyone to see. And then the internet started moving fast. Within hours, the watch community locked in, especially a page called Fake Watch Buster. They dropped a side-by-side comparison, showing Baby's watch next to an authentic Patek Philippe 40th anniversary Nautilus. And that's when things got real interesting. The differences weren't small details you could ignore. The bezel looked thicker than it should have been, the case proportions were off, even the hands didn't match the correct shape or size. For people who understand watches, and there are plenty online, these details stood out instantly. The post blew up fast. Thousands of people started tagging Baby, the comments flooded in, and major pages like the Shade Room picked it up right away. Hip-hop Twitter was going crazy, and in the middle of all that noise, the notification finally reached Lil Baby himself, right there during the event. Just imagine that for a second. Finding out your $400,000 watch isn't what you thought it was. Not in private, not through a quiet conversation, but through the internet blowing it up while you're still at one of the biggest events in the world. That's a tough moment for anyone, especially with cameras everywhere and people watching closely. And it wasn't even about him making a mistake. He trusted the situation and got caught in a bad position. But the fact that it all unfolded in real time, at the Met Gala, with media outlets and gossip pages watching every move, that added a whole extra layer of pressure most people wouldn't want to deal with. Now here's where things really turn up, because Lil Baby didn't stay quiet about it, not at all. He addressed it directly in his own way and made sure people knew how he felt. He went on Instagram, tagged Raffaello and Co. straight up, and made it clear he wasn't okay with what happened. "Y'all know better than to sell me, of all people, a fake, or anything that could be called a fake. I stand on my name the same way y'all should. Ain't no such thing as a mistake when that money is involved. Don't play with me." That message hit hard and spread fast. Then he followed up with another post, this time tagging Patek Philippe, saying, "See, this is why I need to be on the list. Aftermarket jewelers are going to make me do some things I should not be doing." And just like that, the situation got even bigger. That last line really mattered. Baby wasn't just speaking out, he was sending a clear message, the kind of message people from his background recognize instantly. He was basically saying, fix this immediately or this situation is about to get way more serious for everyone involved. Now think about how intense this moment was. Gabe had around $4 million worth of jewelry on Lil Baby at the Met Gala, their entire business relationship hanging in the balance, and now Baby is calling them out publicly in front of millions of followers. That's a high-pressure situation no business wants to be in, and any PR team would be scrambling trying to control the damage. And here's where things take another unexpected turn. Gabe Jacobs didn't even see this unfold in real time. He was observing a religious fast with his phone turned off. By the time he turned it back on, everything had already blown up. He later described it on Drink Champs. His phone was flooded with messages, non-stop calls, and alerts coming in from every direction. At that point, the situation had already spread everywhere, and he had to respond quickly. But to his credit, Gabe didn't avoid it. He didn't go silent, and he didn't try to twist the story. Instead, he stepped up immediately and took responsibility for what happened. Gabe came out and said it clearly. "I personally want to apologize to Lil Baby for not doing my due diligence when selling him the Patek watch. I should have inspected the watch after purchasing it from the dealer. I take full responsibility for not doing my job properly. I would never knowingly sell him or anyone else anything that is not 100% authentic." That statement hit hard because he didn't try to dodge anything. He owned it fully, and he didn't just speak on it, he backed it up with real action. Baby got a full refund, every single dollar returned. On top of that, he received 4 diamond rings valued between $50,000 and $55,000 that were already being custom-made for him, and Gabe handed them over free as part of the apology. But here's the detail that really explains how this whole situation even happened. Gabe revealed that the watch didn't come directly from Raffaello and Co.'s inventory. It actually came through a trade-in deal. Baby had brought in some of his own jewelry, along with 2 watches from another jeweler, to put toward getting the Patek. That means the questionable piece entered the picture from a third-party dealer earlier in the chain, not directly from Gabe himself. And it gets even more surprising. Gabe told TMZ that he had shown that same watch to 2 other professional dealers before it ever reached Baby, and neither one of them flagged anything unusual. So when you look at the full picture, this wasn't a simple case of someone intentionally misleading the client. What you're seeing is a watch that was so convincing it passed through multiple experienced hands in the diamond district without raising concern. This right here is the real story underneath all the headlines, and this is the part people really need to focus on because it goes way beyond Lil Baby in one situation. What happened wasn't just a random mistake, it points to a much bigger issue inside the luxury watch world right now. The Patek Philippe Nautilus, especially the reference 5711, became one of the most copied watches on the planet, and it all comes down to demand going through the roof. Prices weren't just high, they were doubling and even tripling retail just for a chance to own one. That kind of hype created the perfect environment for problems to grow. And then came the wait lists, years long, no guarantees, and extremely limited access through official dealers. So, naturally, another lane opened up. The gray market took off fast. Dealers started buying and reselling through unofficial channels, and these watches began moving through multiple hands before ever reaching the final buyer. Now here's where things get risky. Every extra stop in that process increases the chances of something slipping through unnoticed. And you need to understand, these replicas are not easy to spot. We're not talking about cheap copies with obvious flaws. These pieces can have the same weight, detailed finishing, accurate dial colors, even matching packaging and paperwork. Some are so advanced that even people with decades of experience in luxury watches have had trouble identifying them right away. The watch that ended up on Lil Baby's wrist, it came with a box, it came with papers, and it passed through multiple experienced dealers in New York's Diamond District without raising concerns. That's not something basic. That points to a highly organized operation designed to take advantage of how the gray market works. And here's where everything comes full circle, because there's a bigger lesson sitting underneath all of this. This situation shows how fast things can go left when you're dealing in spaces where verification isn't always airtight. At that level, people assume everything is checked, double-checked, and guaranteed, but clearly, that's not always the case. Even with experienced dealers involved, even with big money on the line, things can still slip through if the process isn't handled carefully from start to finish. What really stands out is how important control is in these moments. The more people involved, the more complicated it gets, and the harder it becomes to trace where something might have gone wrong. That's why keeping things tight with trusted sources isn't just good advice, it's necessary if you want to avoid situations like this. And let's be real, reputation is everything in this space. One situation like this can put a spotlight on everyone involved, whether they meant for it to happen or not. That's why how you respond matters just as much as what happened in the first place. In this case, things were handled quickly, the issue was addressed, and steps were taken to make it right. But the attention it brought, that part doesn't just disappear overnight. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about one watch or one moment at an event. It exposed how complex and risky the high-end resale market can be, especially when demand is high and supply is limited. This is exactly what Lil Durk was warning about. When you're buying through unofficial channels, even from well-known dealers in the Diamond District, you're stepping into a space where the authentication process isn't always locked in. Brands like Patek Philippe don't verify watches sold through the gray market, and Rolex doesn't either.
So if a piece comes in through a trade and doesn't get sent back to the original manufacturer for confirmation, everything comes down to personal judgment and the reputation of whoever supplied it. And as we've seen, even experienced professionals can miss things when pieces are that detailed. That's why Baby's reaction after everything happened actually made a lot of sense. When he tagged Patek Philippe and asked to be put on their list, he was pointing toward the most secure route available. Authorized dealer lists are pretty much the only way to guarantee you're getting the real thing. Yeah, the wait can be long and you usually have to build a relationship with the brand over time, but when you're spending that kind of money, certainty matters. This whole situation didn't just stay online, it sent waves through the jewelry world. People started paying closer attention, asking more questions, and rethinking how they move when it comes to high-end pieces. Ben Baller, one of the most respected jewelers connected to hip-hop culture, even spoke out after the Lil Baby situation and gave some very direct advice. He kept it simple and straight to the point. Never buy a Patek Philippe from a jeweler. That statement caught a lot of attention. After everything fully went public, Lil Durk came back on Instagram and stood firm on what he said. He made it clear, stop putting all the blame on the rapper or the athlete. Instead, look at the jeweler who sold the piece in the first place. That message sparked a lot of conversation. Now, to be fair, Gabe from Raffaello might see that differently, especially since he stepped up, took responsibility, and fixed the situation quickly. But the bigger point Durk was making about the industry, that part still stands strong. Because the truth is, not everyone in this space moves the same way. There are jewelers who are fully aware of what they're selling, and not every situation gets handled as directly as this one did. Even Gabe made changes after this whole situation played out. He publicly announced that moving forward, Raffaello & Company would bring in a dedicated professional watch authenticator to carefully check every single watch before it's sold. That's a major shift in how they operate. He also gave past customers the option to bring their watches back in for verification, opening the door for more transparency. That's not a small move. That's a serious upgrade in process, and it shows how much impact this situation had behind the scenes. And here's the wild part. All of this change came after one very public moment online. The attention, the pressure, the spotlight, it pushed one of the biggest celebrity jewelers in New York to rethink and improve how they handle their inventory. So, in an unexpected way, this situation actually led to better awareness and tighter processes across the board. From Durk's early warning to the watch passing through multiple hands to everything going public and then being resolved with a full refund and valuable pieces added on,
Every step of this story connects, and every detail plays a role in why people are still talking about it. This story really has everything: drama, money, and real consequences that go beyond just headlines. But here's the part that actually matters most when you step back and look at it. Think about where Lil Baby started. This is someone who came up in Atlanta dealing with real struggles early on, faced serious setbacks when he was young, and still managed to build himself into one of the biggest names in music through talent and determination. He earned his success step by step. And somewhere in that supply chain, not necessarily Gabe, but somewhere in that line of dealers, a watch that wasn't what it was claimed to be got passed along for close to $500,000, and it almost went unnoticed. That right there says a lot about the current state of the luxury goods market. These replicas are more advanced than ever, and the people making them are operating at a very high level. On top of that, the gray market adds another layer of complexity. With pieces moving between multiple dealers, it becomes extremely difficult to track where something originally came from or verify its full history. So beyond just being an entertaining story, and it definitely grabbed attention, this is a real lesson. The luxury watch gray market comes with serious risks, and even experienced professionals can miss things if the process isn't handled carefully. So where does this leave you after hearing all of this? Because this isn't just about celebrities and expensive watches. This can apply to anyone stepping into high-value purchases. If you're ever putting serious money into jewelry or watches, you've got to move smart every single time. Ask questions, verify details, and don't rely only on reputation or appearances. Because as you've seen, even well-known sources can end up in complicated situations when too many steps are involved. One of the biggest takeaways here is simple but powerful. Fewer middle steps means fewer chances for problems. The more direct the source, the better your chances of knowing exactly what you're getting. And another thing, patience matters more than people think. A lot of issues in this space come from trying to skip long wait times or go around official channels. But those shortcuts can come with risks that aren't always obvious at first. This whole situation showed how fast things can escalate when something isn't right, especially in today's world where everything gets noticed instantly online. One post, one detail, and suddenly the spotlight is everywhere. If you're ever in a position where you're buying a high-end watch and something feels even slightly off, the proportions, the weight, the way it looks, don't ignore that feeling. Trust your instincts and take the extra step to get it verified by the manufacturer whenever possible. And if you can, go through an authorized dealer, because that extra security really matters. Because if a watch valued at $400,000 can pass through experienced hands in the diamond district without being flagged right away, it shows how careful you need to be. This can happen to anyone if the right checks aren't in place. If you picked up anything from this video, make sure you show some support. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and share this with someone who should know how all of this really works behind the scenes. And if you want more breakdowns on how the jewelry and luxury world operates, especially the parts most people don't see, stay locked in. There's more coming. I'll catch you in the next one.